What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. You know who it is by now,
Jimothy.
So welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the newest series, which is called Boardbreakers. Now, I came up with this idea and this theory about being able to play through a simple yet effective 3 negate board. And the reason why I say this is because typically that is probably the least amount of negates or interactions that your opponent's going to put up if you're playing any kind of competent meta deck. Now, bear in mind, this is an average board. Sometimes these boards can go up to 4, 5, 6, even 7 negates. So it's something to bear in mind when you're doing your deck building. Now, typically I decided to do this just to be able to improve my way of navigating a board, and hopefully I'll make a few mistakes which you guys can pick up on and obviously give me some advice on. But you can also see the thinking behind going around navigating very, very difficult boards. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into it. So ladies and gents, this is a typical board that you're most likely to see on a range of decks at the moment. These are some typical boss monsters that have been quite notorious in many decks, basically, especially Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, who's finding his way into everything that is not Dark Magician, which is interesting. But hey, it is what it is. So this is a typical end board, ladies and gents. We're facing a 2 negate Appaloosa as well as an omni negate in the form of Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Whoops, let's not mess about with our shuffling. Now, the deck that I'm using is Plunder Patrols. Now, I profiled this most recently on the channel about a week or so ago now, and I will leave a iCard for you guys to check that deck profile out because that's what I'm using in this video. So just shuffling up here, let's see how well we can navigate this board. Let's cut the deck. Okay, so we have 1 Bluebeard, which is nice. It's always good to see a name. 1 Dark Ruler no more, absolutely fantastic. 1 Kaiju, wow, okay. 1 Emblem of the Plunder Patrol. 1 Whitebeard, which is just beautiful, as well as a Monster Reborno. Now, this is an absolutely fantastic hand that would break quite a few combo decks, especially with Dark Ruler, as well as a Kaiju, as well as an extender in the form of Monster Reborn. So let's have a little think about where we're going to take this. Do I want to try an OTK or do I want to control the board? Okay. Okay, so we're going to go the control route. We're going to go the control route. So I don't want to burn through all of my hand here. Decisions. Appaloosa is only going to be on 1600 attack, and Dragoon's going to be on potentially 4k. And I want to hold my extenders. Okay. So we got to prioritize here. So I'm not gonna actually use my Dark Ruler no more. I'm gonna hold it. So I'm actually gonna Kaiju the Dragoon, obviously, because he is an omni negate, and I want to make sure that my spells resolve. So I'm gonna normal summon the Whitebeard. Then, because I control a Plunder Patrol monster, I am going to special summon the Bluebeard. Then I'm going to decisions. I'm actually going to go into a Synchro monster, which will be my Adamantipator Risen Dragite. So this should be able to beat over the Kaiju. Then I'm going to get a couple of effects here, which I'm only going to proc. I'm only going to proc the Whitebeard. Let's take away that counter because, in fact, let's not take away that counter because we've still got Appaloosa negate on field. So I'm going to chain block here, and I'm going to chain the Whitebeard, chain link 1, and then I'm going to chain Bluebeard, chain link 2. Now, obviously, I haven't Dark Ruler no mode, so if they were going to use any negates, which they probably would because they're going to be fearing that Dragite's going to be over the Appaloosa anyway, so we'll say that they're going to take 1 negate. So they negate the Bluebeard. The Redbeard should still resolve. So this should allow me to special summon a Plunder Patrol monster from deck, and in this instance I'm going to special summon Red. So Redbeard's going to hit the field. Now I do have an extender and I do have a Plunder Patrol card in hand to be able to do some stuff, which is probably going to be needed. I want to be able to play next turn, so So we'll activate the Monster Reborn, targeting the... Doesn't really matter which we target because we want to decide which one we're going to go into. We'll target the Bluebeard. It doesn't really make a difference because we're going to go into our Moak anyway. So I'm going to overlay these two. In fact, no, we're not. We're going to fire off the Monster Reborn. Then we're going to link these two off into a Plunder Patrol Blackbeard. And then we're going to attempt to go to battle phase. Or do we go into battle phase? That is the question. We're going to activate our Redbeard actually, which should attach itself to Blackbeard. Yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it, ladies and gents. Mainly because, so this is my thought process behind it. I will go into battle phase. Blackbeard will attack over Appaloosa. Appaloosa will die. Dragite will attack over the Kaiju. And then I will pass turn to my opponent. And depending on where the state of the board is, I can activate Blackbeard's effect in my opponent's turn. So what I would do is tag out Blackbeard in my opponent's following turn to be able to special summon straight from the extra deck a Plunder Patrol ship Moak, because Red Eye's Dark Dragoon is in the graveyard, which is a dark, and then I'll be able to get a draw, which should draw me into another emblem of the Plunder Patrol. So what I have effectively here is a Spell and Trap negate. I've got Plunder Patrol ship Moak for a targeted banish, as well as being able to pitch one of my Plunder Patrol cards to then get a search off for another card, which in this instance, I'm definitely going to be searching the field spell, because the field spell should be able to net me another search, providing everything stays kosher and I don't actually get OTK'd. So that will be my following play, ladies and gents. So if I did manage to survive the turn, I should end on 3 cards in hand, a Moak and a Adamantipator Risen Dragite, as well as a bunch of monsters engraved to be able to pop off with. So that would be my first attempt at cracking that board. So let's go into another board and see if we can draw a different hand and see if we can play it somewhat differently. So I'll reset the board and we'll go straight back into it. Okay, ladies and gents, we're here with Boardbreaker test hand number 2. So I can't wait till this deck gets a little bit more support, man, because I'm looking at Appaloosa right now and she's clearly a wind attribute, something that Plunder Patrol ships, whoops, messed that up. Plunder Patrol ships do not possess, which would make playing the deck a lot easier, especially when boards are ending on Appaloosa and especially like Shurag and that kind of thing. You just literally cannot play effectively, so to speak. So it is looking like it's coming. I mean, I've seen on the, I think it was on one of the Amazement traps that came out in the most recent set, Dawn of Majesty, there was a Plunder Patrol ship which was quite interesting, which signifies that there is something coming down the line, but hey ho, we'll see, we'll see. So we've shuffled up here, let's just cut the deck and let's see what we get off the top. So we get a Salvage, which is always nice to see, a Monster Reborn, a nice extender, a Kaiju, which is beautiful, a Black Eyes, as well as a Red Beard, which is nice, and finally we get a emblem, which is beautiful, love to see. Okay, so decisions. Now obviously I'm not going to play no games, I'm going to Kaiju straight over my opponent's Red Eye's Dark Dragoon. It doesn't really matter which column it goes into. So I've got 5 cards in hand, I've got a couple of extenders, which is always nice to see. So okay, what do we want to do here? So we got a dark on board, we got Appaloosa negate, Appaloosa is on 1600 attack, and we've also got a Kaiju on field. So we shall normal summon out the red. And then we're going to activate Emblem to We're going to activate Emblem to equip it with the red. Now the question is, what target do we want? What do we want to see? So we've got a dark and a wind on board. Okay. So we'll fire off the emblem, targeting our red, put our red in the spell and trap card zone. And then we shall special summon out, because we've only really got one target. We'll special summon out a Moak. Then we will activate Moak's effect, targeting the Appaloosa. Now this is targeting banish. You do need to discard for cast, so I'll discard the Black Eyes, and then obviously Appaloosa is definitely not going to want that to happen, so that's going to bait and negate right there. So Appaloosa is down to 1. Black Eyes effect will then be able to resolve to be able to special summon back my Plunder Patrol ship Matey from the spell and trap card zone, because it was sent from the hand or the hand or field to graveyard. It special summons one in the spell and trap card zone. Then I would actually fire off the Monster Reborno to special summon back my Black Eyes. Then we have a few decisions. Where do we want to go from here? Appaloosa is down to 1 negate, so we kind of need to be able to refill our hand and do some stuff. So I will actually link those two into a Blackbeard. Then should get some effects off here, but I won't chain them because I want my salvage to be live. So then I would actually go into battle phase. I will punch over the Appaloosa, so Appaloosa will go. Then I will go to main phase 2. What do I want here? I will activate my salvage, targeting my Black Eyes and my Redbeard to maintain some hand advantage. So those two will come back to my hand. Then potentially, let's see where we want to go from here. So we've actually got a Moak that we kind of need to get online, to be honest. But we do have Blackbeard in hand, Redbeard in hand, and as well as Black Eyes. So I would actually, in this case, I would actually activate Blackbeard's effect, targeting the Moak, put the Moak in the spell and trap card zone, and then special summon out another Moak. And then I should be able to net myself a draw into Called by the Grave. So I've got a few things going on here again, ladies and gents. So we've got a Plunder Patrol ship Moak equipped with a Plunder Patrol card, which will allow me to obviously banish the Radiant should it be a bit of a problem. I will have 1 set Call by the Grave, obviously, just in case my opponent tries to throw any kind of hand traps or anything at me. And then I've also got a Blackbeard with the ability to tag out and special summon a Plunder Patrol ship monster from the extra deck with a matching attribute that's either on field or in grave. Now, obviously, it's very, very dependent on where your opponent plays. I've actually got 2 cards in hand as well, and I will probably pitch the Redbeard from my hand, because it would then be able to attach itself to a Plunder Patrol ship card. Now, if my Moor actually manages to go through and I target and banish one of my opponent's monsters, I should be able to net myself a search. Now, obviously, the Radiant's quite big at 2800, so I do want to kind of get in my field. It could be a bit of a priority, but if my opponent's down on resources, the potential is they can either use him for some kind of extra deck play, or to go straight into battle phase. In that case, I would definitely have to target and banish it straight away. So I've got a few options there, but for the most part, I will actually draw with Plunder Patrol ship Blackbeard and then be able to continue to play. So that is a somewhat half broken board. Dragoon's gone, Appaloosa's gone, Negate's down, and I've still got a bit of hand advantage as well as some board presence. So that is it, ladies and gents. I feel like I navigated that pretty well, but like I always say, if you feel like I could do anything better or anything differently, definitely get at me in that comment section below. And thank you for attending the first session of Boardbreakers. We shall definitely be doing this in the future with some more meta decks, and I'll be looking for your guys' input. Now, as always, we find ourselves at the end of another video. If you did enjoy this content, you know what to do by now. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, all of that beautiful good stuff, and I would definitely see you guys on the next video. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.